His affair had a schedule. I live streamed it using his own car. The notification sound on the massive touchscreen wasn't a warning alarm, but it should have been. I was sitting in the driver's seat of my husband's Tesla Model Y, the white leather cool against my legs, waiting for the system to boot up. My own car, a trusty but aging Honda, was in the shop for a transmission rebuild, and Mark had graciously offered me his pride and joy for the day to run errands. Just be careful with the rims, he had said this morning, kissing my cheek, and don't mess with my equalizer settings. I tapped the screen to enter the navigation. I intended to type in Whole Foods, but I didn't have to type anything. As soon as the map loaded, a helpful little bubble popped up in the center of the display. Suggested destination, 12:18 p.m. departure based on routine. 402 Maple Drive, Jessica's apartment. ETA, 15 minutes. I stared at the screen. My brain short-circuited. Jessica. Jessica is my younger sister. My baby sister. The one I helped with college applications. The one I bailed out of a bad lease last year. She lived at 402 Maple Drive. That's weird, I whispered to the silent cabin. Why would the car think I'm going to Jessica's? I hadn't driven this car in months. Mark was possessive of it. He treated it like a spaceship he alone was qualified to pilot. Maybe he gave her a ride. Maybe he dropped off a package. I tapped the address bubble. The navigation history expanded. It wasn't a one-time trip. It was a list. A long, scrolling list of timestamps. Tuesday, February 10th. Arrived 12:15 p.m. Departed 2:02 p.m. Thursday, February 12th. Arrived 12:20 p.m. Departed 2:10 p.m. Tuesday, February 17th. Arrived 12:18 p.m. Departed 1:55 p.m. Every Tuesday and Thursday for the last 3 months. Like clockwork. I felt a cold prickle start at the base of my neck. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Lunchtime. Mark always took a working lunch. He said he liked to eat at his desk to focus. I looked closer. The driver profile associated with these trips wasn't Isabella or guest. It was Mark. The seat settings, the mirror angles, the climate control preferences, they were all his. He was driving to my sister's apartment twice a week, every week, for a 2-hour lunch break. No, I said aloud, my voice shaking. No, there's an explanation. He's helping her fix something. He's mentoring her. I kept scrolling. Then I saw it. Saturday, January 24th. Arrived 10 p.m. Departed Sunday, January 25th. 8 a.m. Overnight, January 24th. I remembered that weekend. I was visiting my parents in Florida. Mark had stayed behind because he had too much work to catch up on. He wasn't working. He was sleeping at my sister's apartment. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. The air left the cabin. The sleek, minimalist interior of the car suddenly felt like a prison cell. I needed more. I needed to be absolutely certain before I destroyed 2 relationships at once. I pulled out my phone. I opened the Tesla app. Since I was a registered driver on the insurance, I had full access. I went to the charging tab. If he was driving there, he was charging there. I scrolled through the history. Supercharger, Maple District, February 12th, 2:15 p.m. Supercharger, Maple District, February 17th, 2 p.m. He was charging the car right after leaving her place. On days he told me he was stuck in meetings. And then, the final nail in the coffin. The car has a cabin camera. It's supposed to monitor driver attentiveness for autopilot, but it also records safety events, like sudden braking or swerving. I went to the safety tab. I filtered by date. There was a clip from 2 weeks ago. A forward collision warning, triggered by a squirrel running into the road. I played the clip. The camera showed the interior. Mark was driving. He slammed on the brakes. And in the passenger seat, laughing as her coffee spilled, was Jessica. She wasn't just sitting there. Her hand was on his thigh. High up on his thigh. Oops, she giggled in the video. Careful, babe. You almost spilled my latte. Babe. She called my husband, babe, in my car. I closed the app. I sat there in the driveway for a long time. I didn't go to Whole Foods. I didn't run errands. I formulated a plan. What I am about to orchestrate isn't just a confrontation. It is the weaponization of the very technology Mark loves so much against him. He thinks he's a tech genius because he drives a computer on wheels. But he forgot that computers keep logs. And they don't lie. In about 48 hours, Mark isn't going to be worried about his autopilot score. He's going to be worried about a live-streamed evisceration of his character in front of the people whose opinion he values most. I'm not just going to catch them. I'm going to make the car testify against them. To watch full story, kindly follow on screen instructions.